Hey everybody, Ken Coscia here, founder of the Trust Your Intuition Academy, lead instructor and international training director for the Silva Method. I am so glad you are here. Welcome to today's lesson on 5 steps that you'll need to employ to solve problems and create solutions. It's a framework that I want to share with you, the very framework that I teach my students. It's a very framework that we use in the Silva Method of Life and Intuition System, this core foundation program that's been around for now 52 years all over the world for self-improvement, for personal development, for problem solving. And some of it may even seem simple and straightforward. It is. Might even seem like common sense. Some of it may be for you. The real question is, are you doing it? And we all know, we've heard, that oftentimes what we believe to be common sense isn't always what? Common practice. I love that expression. So just because we know something doesn't mean we're doing it. So please sit back for this short video, take some good notes, and let's begin by looking at the 5 steps to create solutions. So first thing is, what's your challenge? What is it you're working on? What is it? So if you are concerned about your health and your well-being, and you're working on building better health, a better sense of well-being, and you're making choices, or maybe you're building a business, hiring a team, hiring a coach, planning, or perhaps you're an athlete or an entertainer or an artist, and you're building a practice, or you're looking to enhance your performance, and you're challenged. Relationships. I mean, what I want you to do is think, I know I'm generalizing it, and I want you to add this to what you know already. So we're talking about these 5 steps to create solutions. Number 1, acknowledge. It begins by acknowledging the way things have been up to now. Notice, I'm purposely emphasizing that because you want to be defined by a vision of your future. You want to be defined by a vision of a positive outcome for the future and not stuck in the dead past and not stuck in the repetitive, endless loop when we don't learn the lessons and we keep making the same mistakes over and over. So we need to what? Pinpoint, have a target. So part of that is to recognize, identify what needs your attention, what needs correction. Is it something from your past where maybe you need some counseling? Is it something from your past where you need to do some changing limiting beliefs? And identify, pinpoint as best possible when. So you could do some timeline work. You could do a reflective meditation on this. You could ask for help. It's important though, begin. And you don't want to lament on it. We don't want to make it any worse than it is. And you don't want to spend too much time. From even an energetic point of view, it's important to identify what it is and to honor it, to honor the inevitable struggle. The bigger your ideal, the bigger your goal, the bigger the challenge, the more likely what? To have some struggles. I don't know anybody who doesn't have in their story more than a few struggles, setbacks, mishaps. It happens. Just honor it and look at it as lessons. Lessons of what not to do. Part of also acknowledging is creating a right mindset to move from, for example, if someone says, I got to leave early, guys. I have so many problems at home or so many issues at work. By comparison, how does this feel? Guys, I got to leave early tonight. I have so many projects I'm working on. Guys, I have so many projects at work. I got to get a good night's rest tonight. It's not semantics. Words do make a difference. And that's science. In neuroscience, we know that fact. Be careful about how you frame it and the attitude. So you're honoring the struggle and you're what? Accepting yourself. As the Buddha once said, life is suffering. I don't like that myself, but sometimes life is suffering. The tragedy is if we don't learn a lesson from it and if we don't grow from it. So it happens. Stuff happens. Learn. So you want to start telling yourself, you want to start looking in the mirror, I'm enough. I love and accept myself, and I want to get even better. and do something. So have that. The next step would be to have a clear goal. Once you've acknowledged the challenge, the difficulty, maybe your current reality, you want to then have a clearly defined goal or vision of your future. Big or small, doesn't matter. What is your intention? Be clear about your intention. And it is necessary, I can tell you, that you are congruent, that your goals, your wants are congruent, consistent with your values. So who are the people in your life? What are the things, opportunities that you really appreciate and like and value and you want more of? Shape your goals around that. Shape your goals around something bigger than yourself. And extend the benefits. How will it benefit you? How will it benefit your family, your children, your grandchildren? How will it benefit your clients, your customers, your community, the world at large? I am so blessed, so fortunate that when I was 19, struggling in school, flunking out, that I got involved with the Silva Method. It's a program, really. It's self-improvement, sure, but it's really about helping the world be a much better place, helping people to take command, take charge of their lives. So make sure that you're clear about that and you elevate your emotions as you think of your goals. The emotions are the driving forces, what gets us up in the morning. So you do that by focusing on your benefits for yourself and anyone you care about. Next step, number 3, you got to have what? A plan, a strategy. Of course, to implement it then. It has been my experience when, remember the law of attraction. Everyone's talking about the law of attraction. I know it's overused. And a lot of metaphysical concepts. One of the things I've observed, I've traveled to 27 different nations. I've worked with nearly 200,000 people. I've worked in different languages, of course, with translators. I don't speak those languages. And these are in live seminars. I'm not talking online. I'm not talking YouTube. This is up close and personal, small groups, large groups, hundreds of people to 1,000 people to 10, 20 people. And I've noticed time and time again, whether it be people studying with me or people studying other modalities, they're looking for a quick fix, instant transformation. Good luck with that. There ain't any such thing. It doesn't happen. Transformation, you know this, I know this, it takes time. And it takes having the competence and the skills and the practice and that we apply it. So you got to have some sort of plan or strategy in place. You got to know how you're going to get there, who you're going to ask for help, what coaching you're going to get, or what courses you're going to take, or what books you're going to read, whatever it is for that, who you're going to model. So maybe you want a mastermind. Maybe you want to surround yourself with a small group, 7 to 8 people, of like-minded people, people who support your vision, people who will share ideas, open source type idea sharing, versus the naysayers who say, oh yeah, I don't know, you could do that. So one of the things you can also do is, a common thing is, I know what I want, but I don't know how to get there. Okay, so put your subconscious to work while you sleep. I love this tool. We teach it in the Silva Method through dream control, through daydreaming, through the technique we call the laboratory technique, through activating our intuition. Why that's important is we are governed, physically speaking, objectively by the laws of logic and what we know to be true technologically, what we know to be true in science, what we know to be true medically. We need that. We need those higher thinking functions, the frontal lobes. There's a whole different level of consciousness now that goes beyond that goes beyond what we know physically to be true. And most of the greatest books ever written, songs ever written, medical breakthroughs, innovative ideas, moving from agricultural era to the industrial, to the information age, to technology, and so on and so forth, it began with an idea. What, you've heard, 10% inspiration, 90% working on it. Because those ideas come from a place that knows no limits, knows no boundaries. Then we got to figure out how to get there, of course. So put your subconscious to work while you're sleeping. You can use your dreams. It's a very creative dimension to spark ideas and then act on those ideas. Number 4, have the faith. Sometimes you got to take a leap of faith and trust in yourself that you can somehow, some way figure this out. So follow through. I've also observed a big mistake some people have made is they have an idea and then they second guess themselves. Truth be told, I've done the same thing myself. More than I want to remember. You have an idea and say, oh, it feels great. But then we say, well, I don't know, what about this, what about that? And then those limiting beliefs kick in, that lack of confidence. And the danger with that is nothing's going to happen unless you what? Act on it. Do something. Worst case, you screw up, mess up, fall on your face. It seems like everybody who's accomplished anything, from small things to huge things, have what? Have their stories of mishaps, falling, bankruptcies, etc. The tragedy is if we don't learn from it, and you know that. So we got to ask questions. Okay, what can I learn from this? How can I do better? What's the difference that can make the difference? And then maybe model success. People who have been there and done that. People who have what we want. People who are in a similar field. Get the idea? So sometimes it takes a leap of faith to just trust. I had that leap of faith in '71 when I went through the Silva program. My friend told me about it. I was so freaking skeptical. I came from a very dogmatic background. Good thing for me, though. I was dependent on medication for my headaches. Immediately in the class, I learned how to eliminate headaches without any drugs whatsoever. And after a little over a year, I stopped getting the headaches. I was also flunking out of school. I had a 181 cumulative average studying engineering. I learned an accelerated learning technique called the 3 fingers technique. I began to apply it. I found myself studying so much less, needing less repetition, and I graduated cum laude. Highest honors, A's. And meanwhile, my last 3 semesters at Boston University, I was working full-time in the Boston area teaching Silva Method courses, these 4-day programs. Whoa. Nowadays, we call it high performance. Back then, that term wasn't used. But wow, when I look back, I feel so blessed, so fortunate to have something bigger than myself, to be on a mission. And I like to do the same thing for you and help you with that. Because if you got the right training, you can. And I hope one day you'll join me and you'll be in a class in Chicago or Boston or Connecticut or wherever I might be visiting with the Silva Life and Intuition System, or maybe a specialized presentation, what have you, or check out my YouTube channel. It just takes the time and the patience and the training. And the last step, number 5, appreciate, claim it, celebrate it, the success. You can, but even if it's just a little itty bitty success, yes. Another error in judgment people make, big mistake in my opinion, is they go, oh, could have done better, oh, geez. I wanted to take off 22 pounds, I only took off 2 pounds. I was just with some people complaining. They're taking action to do this, and she only took off maybe 1.5 pounds too. It's still progress. Celebrate it. The surest way to have more of anything is to first acknowledge any progression. Like Napoleon Hill said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Appreciate. The surest way to have more is appreciate what you do have. And I'll add, who is in your life you appreciate, you're happy is in your life. Have you told them that? Next time you're with them, say, you know, I'm so happy in my life. Like I said to you, I'm so happy you're watching this. I'm so happy you're allowing me this opportunity to share with you. And I truly, truly hope that you benefit from it. And I know you will, and you follow through. So appreciate, feel that attitude of gratitude that puts you into a state of grace that almost makes you like a magnet to attract the people, the places, the situations, the synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences that will help you to achieve your goal. So let's recap in closing. We're talking about 5 steps to create solutions. Number 1, it begins with acknowledging the way things have been, your current reality. Take responsibility for it. Identify what's been holding you back. Give it minimal energy, but you do need to identify it. Number 2, you want to then have a clearly defined vision of your future, of your goal, what it is you really want. Goals, be clear about your intention and be congruent with your values, what's most important to you. Do that reflective meditation on clarifying what it is you really want. 3, you got to have a plan, a strategy, steps. You got to figure out how you're going to get there. So obviously that may mean you're going to need to take a course, read a book, hire a coach, ask for help, strategize with another group, mastermind, whatever it is, or model others who are where you want to be eventually. Put your subconscious to work while you're sleeping. Use your dreams as a fascinating way to access subjective mode of consciousness that will give you ideas and inspiration. Number 4, have the courage to act on it, to follow through. Take that leap of faith. There's probably nothing worse than lack of confidence when we second guess ourselves. Because then we shame ourselves, oh, I could have done this, I should have done that, and it makes it worse. So yes, look for feedback then and make adjustments. It's like sailing. It's much easier to adjust the sails to get the wind and keep moving, as we say in sailing, tack, versus what? Starting from scratch. So once you have some momentum, it's much easier to shift directions in your course. And number 5, celebrate it. Celebrate, appreciate, and feel genuine, deep appreciation for any progress you've made. If it's people you work with, if you're the boss or the employer, thank people for coming to work. Thank them for the job they did for you, or for your family, or regardless of what it is. We all need to be appreciated. So guys, I know this will make a big difference for you in your life when you apply it. Do follow through on this. And may I ask you 2 quick solids. You find this of value, you appreciate it, you resonate with it, please tell other people about it, share it, let others know so that I can reach out to them and see if I could be of help to them. Second, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Please do. That'll help me get the word out there, and it looks good. We all know that. Make some comments below, whether it's on Facebook or the YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions, ideas, I'd love to hear. I do take a look. I do pay attention to it. So thank you for being here. And remember, you are far more than what you appear to be. In fact, you are better.